your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in. I don't even feel like we need to do like what I normally do, just because this has just been such a funny fiasco and it's very much on brand for us. So welcome to the weekly warm-up podcast. I am so excited. Today I have my friend, my SI swim search gal that is just amazing. She is also a beautiful, smart, talented woman. She's a mother. She is a wife. She's a baker. She's a philanthropic charity, all the things. Okay, I'm done. We're all the things. Welcome, Britt, to the weekly warm-up podcast.
So excited to be here.
Me too. I'm really, really pumped about this. And this has been long overdue. And I know we had to kind of rearrange things. So thank you for being so flexible. But we are going to dive in. We always like to start off, as I say, with the interview, first questions, first date, where you're from, where you live, about yourself a little bit, how many children you have, all the different roles that you play, girl.
Okay. I'm a mom of two. I live in Nashville. My kids are 10 and 13, so elementary school and middle school, all the fun things. I grew up in Oklahoma, moved to Nashville 18 years ago.
Whoa.
Is that right? Maybe 15, but still.
That's still a lot.
15 years ago. Yeah, I stay home primarily, but I own a baking business. I bake cakes and cupcakes.
Which I wish that you would start delivering.
They would all end up deconstructed if I shipped. So for now, we're going to keep it local. I model here and there.
Oh, I forgot even to mention that with modeling and content creating. I'm sorry. You have too many things.
Apparently, I'm going to do this a lot.
It's okay.
Talk with my hands. Yeah, I pursue all the things that bring me joy. I find new things to add to my list as often as possible.
No, that's so amazing. And what I love about you is that you're not only so dedicated to obviously being a mother and all the amazing things that your kids do. I mean, they're athletes. They're always winning some sort of competition. You're all over the place, but then you still find time to be a 10 out of 10 wife, and then to put yourself into, business. And like I said, being philanthropic, and then also go after your goals with modeling. So, I mean, shoot, if I could be half of that, that's amazing. So I'm so proud of you.
It's a long journey to get here. So there's been a lot of ups and downs and trials and figuring things out and learning how to make myself a priority while still doing other things. And it's been huge for growth, huge for myself, huge for my family. So
no, it's perfect, because I wanted to segue then into, breaking down motherhood and owning these different small businesses that you have, and your husband traveling. How do you juggle it all, and what do you do that is maybe a little tip and trick that you could share with other moms?
Honestly, like I said, it's been a learning curve. I mean, everyone, when they become a mom, they're a mom for the first time, right? And so you pour your heart and soul into it. Obviously, my kids are my world, but there became a point where I felt like I was stuck, like I needed something for me outside of my kids. I'm always going to be here for my kids. I'm going to be there for all the things that I can be there for, but there was something missing, and it was greatly affecting the rest of my life. And I finally learned how to slowly, again, baby steps, giving myself the opportunity to do different things. And baking was, I don't know if Sports Illustrated or baking came first. I'd have to check the receipts. But in 2020, my mom was like, you should bake cakes, because I've always enjoyed it. And I was like, I don't know, especially in the middle of COVID, I was like, 3 months later, I had started a business because it was something for me. And I have a very supportive husband, thankfully, who has encouraged me to do the things that I love. And so he's been very supportive when I have, pursued modeling and pursued Sports Illustrated. And so those things over time, I've gotten more comfortable with making myself a priority to give myself the things that I need. Even just working out, if I don't work out, I can tell that I am not as happy because I'm not getting that hour to myself. I may get it while they're at school, but then maybe I feel like that's when I need to do grocery shopping and do all the other things that, I need to do, or bake cakes. taking time for something that's just for me has been a game changer. So it took me a long time to realize that it was okay to do that and it wasn't selfish. It feels selfish sometimes, but it's not. It's important.
Do you find that, so I'm 36, do you find that as you got older that you noticed that more, or do you find that it came with just repetition of, figuring out ways to make schedules work? Is it with wisdom and age or with scheduling?
Definitely both. I think once I hit 40, I'm 43. So once I hit 40, I started making myself a priority at probably like 38. But 40, I really got to the point where it's kind of a non-negotiable. Prioritize myself sometimes because I don't always, like there are times where I will say no to something so that I can be there at a kid's game or, whatever it is. But there are sometimes where I have chosen myself instead. It took a long time to feel okay with saying yes to myself over them, which I don't do often. But every now and then I do, and it's important for me. But I will say that, it's getting older, but it's also just coming to terms with the fact that it's my life and I'm the one who has to wake up and live it every day. So I need to make sure that I'm doing things that bring me joy outside of the other things in my life that are constant. Like my family is constant.
Absolutely.
I'll always be here. I will always be there for them. But there are other things that I need to bring into my life to bring me joy. And it's as you live your life and you realize that life is short, you have to grab onto those moments and take them and savor them and run with them.
Do you think that with baking, you found that it was also some sort of mental clarity or mental stability because the fact you have to be very detailed, you have to be calm, like you have to obviously be articulate. Do you find that when you got into baking, was it because you were able to shut your mind off, but also be slow and in the moment?
I've never thought of that, honestly. I definitely shut everything else off. When I was younger, baking was my stress relief. Like if I had a long day at work, I would come home, I'd have a glass of wine, I would bake something and I would feel better. So, but now sometimes it's therapeutic. It can be stressful, on top of giving me something that, I get to provide. I get to be a part of someone's special day, whether it's a baby reveal or a wedding shower or whatever. Like I get to play the tiniest part in something magical for someone. And I love that. But I also love that because I do it out of my home, my kids get to see me work. They get to see that I am putting the time in. They get to see that I care about what I'm doing and that I get to make a little tiny imprint in somebody else's special event,
Well, we always remember the cakes and the cookies and things like that. And it's always, who did it? Who was this? Who did that? And then it just kind of becomes a ripple effect. Absolutely.
Yeah. It feels like an honor to be a part of those moments for people. But for my kids to, because every time I'm baking, they're like, "Ooh, who's that one for? Who's that one for?" Like they want to know too. And I love that. Sometimes they don't know who they are, but I'm like, "Oh, it's just a girl who's turning 16. No big deal." It's been fun.
Give me 3 tips and tricks on how you can juggle all things for other mothers that are listening or a wannabe mother.
1, have a good village and rely on them. I have an incredible support system. I recently have family here on day-to-day life, running to get kids from sports or whatever. If my husband's out of town and I need help with something, I have my girlfriends, my little village, and I rely on them so much. And we all rely on each other. So 1, find yourself a good village. And I don't want to say take them for granted, but like cherish them. And if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be too proud to ask for help. That's number 1.
I had one of my best friends that I grew up with, childhood best friends on here, Cammie. And, she's a mother of 2 and then she has 2 stepkids. And she said something similar to that. So it's just really amazing to know that you can have a village of people and how that is one of the most important things out of all.
Sometimes you just need a reset. And it is okay to take time for yourself, to rest, to recover. We want to do it all as mothers and as women, I think. I feel like there's a stigma that everyone expects us to do it all, but you also need to rest. You need to give yourself the rest and not feel guilty about it, for sure.
No, yeah, I agree with that 100%. I see you moving and grooving all the time, and you're a Fabletics partner, which I love. You welcome to the team. I love that so much. So it's just, it's inspiring to see all the things you do on that side.
Thank you.
Okay, enough about being mom, enough about baking. I want to talk about modeling. I want to talk about your journey with Sports Illustrated Swim Search.
I was always interested in modeling when I was younger. I went to modeling school. We're going to use that term lightly. I will not
have to pay,
names, but I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yeah, I
But,
get you.
oh yeah, like I had a duct tape runway in my bedroom as a high
Stop.
school girl because that's how much I wanted to model.
Yeah.
However, I grew up in the 90s where if you weren't teeny tiny, you weren't going to make it. I moved to LA for a little while, tried my hand at it, didn't work. That's okay. Left LA, met my husband, had my kids, and I kind of forgot about all of it.
But there's a
Um,
reason for everything. You went
correct.
to LA, and if you didn't, who knows? You might not have met the man of your dreams.
But in this time that we talked about earlier, where I felt like I kind of got lost and I needed something for
Mhm.
myself, I realized that Sports Illustrated was doing swim search, and I had just put it all out of my mind. I forgot about it. I used to hang up the pictures from Sports Illustrated on my refrigerator. Body painting days, so good. However, I, put it out of my mind. I was married, I had kids, like I thought my time is done. And the year that I realized they still did it was the year that Katie Austin and Kristen Harper won. They had been announced as finalists but hadn't been selected yet. So I was really seeing all of this kind of unfold for the first
Mhm.
time. And it got me so excited. Got me so excited that there was still a possibility. Was I
Mhm.
really ready for it? Probably not. I started believing in myself again. And it was like it lit that fire inside of me. 5 years that I've been doing some search. And while I have not made it to rookie yet, I'm not also giving up yet because I know that Sports Illustrated has already given me so much. And that's not, I haven't made it to finalists, I haven't made it to semifinals, but the things that it has given me in my life already without
Mhm.
even being in the magazine are things that I will forever be grateful for. Get you out of it. Two of my very best friends, we talk all the time. Seen one of my friends have a baby. Like I've seen one of her send herself off to college. I mean, it has been this beautiful, beautiful moment in my life where I am seeing women not only in my position that want to be in the magazine or be a part of the brand, but I'm also having conversations with the women who are already part of it. And
Mhm.
while I haven't met all of them, the ones that I have met have really made an impact. They are down to earth and they are relatable and they are beautiful. And I take something from each one of them. And like, I, I want to be able to give that to someone else.
You already make an impact on other people's lives. With auditioning,
Mhm.
how have you grown through each year that you've submitted?
Leaps and bounds. It's crazy. It's funny to think. I actually talked about this with my girlfriends that I met through Sports Illustrated. The first year, like, because I was so excited, right? I was so excited that this was a possibility. I was just like, I'm gonna get the first year. Like, I just like had this feeling, right? Like looking back from 5 years ago to this last year that I submitted, I have
Mhm.
grown so much. It seems silly to say that I've grown into myself at 43, but I feel like I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. And for so long, I did what I thought other people wanted, right?
Mhm.
Or I was such a people pleaser that I was not truly myself. And I feel like over this process, it has really allowed me to dig deep and figure out who I am, what I bring to the table, and, where what things are non-negotiable for me as far as my time and my energy, and really just prioritizing doing things that bring me joy. 2 or 3 years ago maybe my husband said, I don't care if you never get it, and he didn't mean it in like a I don't want you to get it kind of way. He's like, I
I
don't
remember
care.
you telling me this actually.
He said, I don't care if you ever get Sports Illustrated because I have you have been more yourself through this process than I've ever seen, that like since I've known you. Like, please never stop. He's always been very supportive, but going through this process has really made me a happier, better person because I've grown so much through it.
For someone that's mid 30s, like I'm closer to my 40s than my 30s, which I also know that I hear the 40s are like amazing and they're the best. I think 20s are where you make a mess of yourself and you don't really know what you want to do and you feel like you should know everything and you don't. And then your 30s, you kind of come into the woman that you are and you realize what you want and you don't want. What could you give for those that are in our 30s advice as far as how that transition is 30s to 40s?
Well, I think it's funny because my husband and I have talked about this. 30s is like when people start taking you seriously. Like you're
Yeah.
out of your 20s, right? And so they start taking you seriously. The one thing that I will say, my 40s, and I mean this with all love and respect for every single person out there, I don't care what you think of me. You have to get to the
Period.
point where you don't care what people think about what you do. Like I said, there were so many times where I would do things based on what I thought other people wanted, but I
Mhm.
wasn't doing what was best for me. It is to the point where I love you. I respect you. I understand that you may not understand why I want to do Sports Illustrated, or you may not understand why I don't work a normal 9 to 5, or, whatever, but that's okay. I am okay with people not understanding why I do what I do with my life. And that's been the biggest, since I've turned 40, that has been the biggest thing, is that you can do you, I'm going to do me, and I'm okay with it.
I haven't heard anyone say that before, but I love that you said, you and your husband talked about people start taking you seriously in your 30s, which is so true. And I haven't even thought about that side of things. Obviously, when I say you're like falling into yourself, but we still do care about what people think. As much as we, try not to act like that, there are things that will still bother. But I've heard that from a couple other people. Even my mom mentioned that to me. She said that in her 40s, that was one thing, is she just stopped caring about what people that didn't matter thought, because again, life's too short.
Yeah. I mean, I deeply care for people, obviously. Like, it's not that I'm like, I don't care what you think, but it's not changing myself.
We know that. Okay. We don't have Sally cream cheeses like trying to like ruin the mood. Like, we get it. Like, you don't care about the trolls that are trying to turn you down. I love how you're like, wait, I care, but I don't. I care. Wait, do you? I thought about this because you were talking about your husband and how you guys, talk about certain things when you mentioned about, your 40s and how he really supports you. I'm not married. I want to be married one day. People that listen obviously are married. Some are not. Whatever it is, marital advice. Give me some marital advice.
I will say that we don't have typical jobs, which I don't know if there really is a typical job anymore these days, right? But he travels a lot, and I know that that's not for everyone. So I feel like my advice may be limited to certain people, because again, not everyone can have, we essentially have a long distance relationship half the time because he's gone so much. He's either gone a lot or he's home a lot. And there's a fine balance there. One of the things that we both, I feel like, are really good at is allowing each other to do your own thing. Like, if he wants to go do things with his friends, awesome. If I want to go do things with my friends, awesome. We recognize the importance of filling our own cups in order to be good together. And sometimes it is being out of the house with our friends instead of being here together all the time. We do that more when he's off the road than when he's on the road. We obviously cherish our time together when he's home. My friends always joke, oh, you're probably gonna have family time because, when he's home and he's been gone, like, we're all together a lot. But I do think it's really important to, obviously, communication, give each other the freedom to not feel like we have to be physically next to each other all the time.
I love that. For me, I love my time. I love being independent. I love my solo time. Not that I want that all the time, but I love that you said about just being able to have your own lives, your own independence, your own careers, your own goals, your own hobbies. Everyone doesn't have to have the same thing. And I do believe that that makes a relationship stronger.
So it's important to have different life experiences, both together and separate, so you can have conversations and talk about what you liked or you didn't like, or, you tried something new, like, let's do it together next time. It's, it gives you so much more than just time away from each other.
As a mental health advocate, break down how you've gotten yourself out of a dark season.
Ooh, girl.
Sorry, we gotta go there. We gotta go there. They're dark for a reason.
Yeah. Honestly, this all kind of stems around when I got stuck and when I broke free. One of the things that was really difficult for me, I got rid of. I removed it from my life, never to be seen again. However, it was a scale, by the way. So I used to, every day, like, I would get up and get on it, and my entire day would be dictated by the number on that scale. Whether I looked what I saw, or, like, whether I felt what I saw on the scale or not, like that, the number would dictate my day. So I got rid of my scale, and it was such a liberating feeling to be done with it. And I went to the doctor last week, and I've been to the doctor plenty of times since I got rid of my scale, and I usually don't look, and I just happened to look down, and I saw that number, and girl, it just sent me into a spiral for like a week. It was horrible.
Really crazy is one, I'm the same way with you with this. I've struggled with eating disorders growing up and things like that. But one thing I haven't done in years, I'll never weigh myself because of that reason. And a couple weeks ago, I don't know why, I was like, I'm just going to weigh myself. And I saw it. Let's be real. Like, I need to chill out. I was psychologically just whiplashed. And it's so weird. No one else saw it. It was just me. And when I go to the doctor, same thing. I turn around. I always ask, I need to turn around, please. That's just so wild. You said that because literally I actually weighed myself the first time I weighed myself since high school.
I haven't been that long, but that's impressive. But I walked in that doctor's appointment and you would have thought I was walking a runway. I was just like, I was confident. Like, and it's not that I think that I have the best body on the planet, but I am comfortable and confident in my skin. And it took me a long time to get here. And I walked in with my head held high, and girl, you would have thought that I walked out of there and they had cast me for the 600-pound life. Based on
I love that for you.
Seeing that number did to me. It messed me up for like a solid week. Like I cried about it multiple times. Whatever. And the thing that I came back to was that was a good reminder. If you remove something toxic from your life, do not let it back in. Don't let it back in. Yeah. And I was talking to my trainer about it because he had seen I'd made a post about it. I weigh the same as I did when I was the day that I gave birth to my 9-month son. When I was 9 months pregnant, I weighed the same as I do now.
Water weight?
I could have weighed.
Maybe that's good because then most women don't get super swollen as much with bearing a boy than a girl. Because girls like take everything out of you because they're like building reproductive systems. But then I almost want to look at that like, girl, good for you that you were that good looking pregnant. You know what I mean? That's how I want to say it to you. Like, damn.
But for me though, it was like a mental,
I get that.
It was a mental like, and again, it's not to say like, and maybe I've weighed this much for 6 months and I just have no idea because I don't know how to scale. But seeing the number was just like, what's happening? So I was talking to my trainer about it and he was like, I think it bothers you that it bothers you.
Yeah.
And I said,
but also weighing yourself, like it's all about muscle mass and body fat percentage.
I know that muscle weight is different. I know that it doesn't matter. Like, but for me, it was just the mental torture of seeing something that I no longer looked at.
How did you get yourself out of that? What did you start doing?
Well, I had to talk through it. And that's part of the reason that I posted it because I felt like it was very important. I am so, so big on preaching that you are confident and you are beautiful and you are capable and worthy exactly as you are. But I had a moment of doubt and it overtook me. And I felt like it was very important for me to share that and be vulnerable about it because I don't want people to think that I don't ever have doubts when I'm saying, you're awesome, you're beautiful. I believe it 100%. I know that I am confident and beautiful and capable, and I know that everyone else is too. But I also know that Instagram is a highlight reel sometimes. Be vulnerable and be honest so that because people may relate to it.
People relate so much more to the difficult times because it hits us and it psychologically messes with us so much more.
Yeah. But I think that by sharing it and then talking about it, like I talked about it with my husband and my friends and my trainer, I think that's what I needed was to just talk past it and like get through it. Like I had to work through it, you can't, for me, I feel like it's important to not hold everything in because that's when you get stuck. You have to be able to let it out in whatever capacity that is.
Yeah.
I also like every day I usually share like 2 little quotes. They're not planned out. I get up and I see how I feel that day and then I like see what I find and then I share what I like. And then I write those 2 things down. I have a little journal. It's actually a Sports Illustrated journal. But it was like I got it from one of my girlfriends. And I was like, I don't really journal. I'm not like good at like journaling. 2 little lines, motivational quotes I can look back but I think that, like those few days after that, like the quotes were different. I was trying to remind myself that it's okay to struggle. Sometimes I feel like my posts are for me and sometimes I feel like they're for other people. But hindsight, like those days that I was struggling, like my quotes were different.
So when you were at the doctor, to the moment that you looked, to the moment that you realized what the number was, to then the moment that you realized that it was a similar number to when you were pregnant with your son, to then kind of the grieving process of it, and then talking out the situation with, your trainer, and I want to talk trainer specifically, and husband. What out of that whole process, which part were you the most affected by?
The fact that I was thinking about it 24 hours later.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when I looked down, like, I mean, everything you said at the beginning of that was all immediate. I wasn't thinking about it. I was talking to her and I glanced down, like I glanced down and I saw it and then it was just like a spiral of, oh my God, that's how much I weigh. Oh my God, that's how much I weighed when I was pregnant. I'm at my doctor's appointment the whole time. Like that's all I'm thinking about. I went home. That's all I thought about. Well, the next day I was still thinking about it. And that's when I was like, not good. For example, that night I had an event to go to and my girlfriends went with me. And it's funny because I wore a Canadian tuxedo. Yes. First time. But my friend was like, you look really cute, but you have on a lot more clothes than you normally do. Cause like normally like
Aw.
it was like a baggier shirt and like wide leg pants. And I didn't realize that I was doing that. And it's because, and
Psychologically, you were covering up.
when it was a daily habit, I dressed to hide myself every day.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was doing that night until my friend said something. Like it took one day, one moment, and it was just like,
How did you react in that moment when your friend said that? Did you open up?
no
Yeah.
cocktail hour for the fundraiser that I'm doing. And so I was in my happy place about that, but inside, like it was hard.
Yeah.
So we talked about it the next day, but I like be excited about the evening ahead of me. So
Absolutely. Which we are going to dive into and make it. Well, we're going to go. The grass is greener on the other side. All right. We're making, what is it? Lemonade, lemon, what is it?
Yeah,
Lemon,
making
lemon.
lemonade out of lemons.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you notice any type of change as far as what you were eating?
No, I ate the
Yeah.
same. And I even like that was a Wednesday. I've worked out since then. Like I didn't work out extra. I didn't like Thanksgiving week. I only worked out one day and did the turkey trot where normally I work out 4 days a week because I don't want to go down an unhealthy path. So
Mhm.
I did, I mean, it was Thanksgiving week. I was going to enjoy Thanksgiving week like I normally do and not be hard on myself about it.
Yeah.
And because it's easy to quickly take one slip and turn it into an obsession. And that was the last thing that I wanted.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Good for you. I'm really proud of you for being so strong. And those types of situations rock a female. Some people can relate to it. Some people might never understand the whole way thing because they don't really care.
yeah.
But when that has been something that has always, mentally wrecked your brain, it's a lot. So I'm really proud of you for getting out of that and dealing with that. Well, let's get happy. Let's get happy. Yeah. Yeah. Your recent nomination. I'm not going to read it out because it is long and I want you to do that because I feel like you should do the honors of kind of introducing yourself. So let's do a drum roll. Go.
I am a candidate for Visionary of the Year for Blood Cancer United.
Mm.
They were formerly the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, but they've rebranded. And so I am one of, I think, 8 candidates in Nashville, and we are all going to be raising money for blood cancer. And I'm excited. And it was a weird, crazy turn of events on how it all kind of came to be. And I just feel like it was meant to be. So when I first moved to Nashville, we lived in a different part of town, and it was when I was having my kids, and Mike was on the road a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed my village, right? But I had a different village then. And there was this group called the Moms Club. One of the girls that I was friends in Moms Club with, we have kept in touch a little bit via Instagram, but not like I haven't seen her in years. We haven't had a conversation in years. And she reached out via Instagram and was like, hey, I'm on the committee for this foundation. I think you would be perfect for Visionary of the Year. I'd love to talk to you about it if you'd like to hear about it. I'm like, sure. So we met for lunch, and I met with her and one of the girls from the foundation, and they were talking to me about it and just how, obviously so many people are affected by blood cancer, and, they're trying to raise money. There's a 10-week period in the spring where we'll all raise money.
Got your back.
I was sold multiple points in the conversation. The biggest one was when they said that the money that we raise will stay here in Nashville and help families that are, that will help people in our community. Because so many times you donate to something and like it might go to research and things like that, which some of the money does, but you don't really know how it's helping. You don't get to see how it's helping people. So it will stay in the Nashville community is huge that, we can help people currently battling blood cancer.
Yeah.
However, she had no idea that my husband's brother passed away from leukemia. His father had leukemia, and my stepsister's son, my nephew, also has leukemia. So she had no idea I had 3 family ties to leukemia when she asked me to be a part of this.
Wow.
I've always wanted to give back, and I just didn't know in what capacity. I've looked into different things. I have a St. Jude license plate, but that doesn't do, that's very minimal. The little things here add up, right? But, I've always wanted to make a difference and make a big impact, and I just wasn't sure what that was. I looked into like some different programs here. One of them was like Girls Who Run, which is an amazing program, but I'm not a runner. So I felt like
Wait, Girls on the Run?
Yes.
Wait, that's so crazy you say that because I, in Vero Beach, it's really big in Indian River County, like where I'm from. And I was a coach for it for a couple years. And I was with Beachland Elementary.
Okay.
and I did the Girls on the Run, and it was so amazing. I loved it so much because these girls were so cool, and running with them and getting them to run a 5K, and we ran the
Yeah.
5K together, and the families came in. So that's wild. Yeah, I love
So I
Girls on the
love
Run.
running too, but I'm not a runner. So I was like, may not be the best.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
she approached me about this. Like, it just really felt like all the stars aligned, and this is something I'm supposed to do.
That's beautiful.
I've been on the bone marrow transplant list, like to be a donor, since 2018, I think.
Good for you. That's
Yeah, so
really
it's always been something that I cared about. I just, this is my first time being involved. So I feel very
mhm,
honored. I'm very excited to get to help. I have all sorts of little tricks up my sleeve,
mhm.
lots of planning in the works. It's going to be a great 10 weeks, and I'm excited to make a big difference.
Yeah. Because you are raising money, are you going to be hosting events?
So we've already kind of started. So I'm building a team
Mhm.
of people who are also going to be helping. So right now we can only do sponsorships. We can't take individual money because it's only during the 10-week campaign period that we can really accept
Got
donations
it.
and do events. So in that 10 weeks, though, there will be all sorts of events. I've got a lot of things planned. I actually was able to announce today that we are partnering with the Nashville Predators, our hockey team. You can go to a specific game, and part of the ticket proceeds from that game that you purchase through Blood Cancer United goes back to them. So it's a
Amazing.
fun night out that you can give back, but also enjoy your
Yeah.
evening as well. I love an experience, and we love hockey, so we're super pumped for that.
I would love to do something with my run club.
Okay, I would love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Let's talk.
I love it. Yes, I know there are a lot of companies that match donations, so I'm hoping that people will find in their heart to ask their companies if they will match their donations, and
Mhm.
then it will all end with a gala at the soccer Geodis, the soccer complex here, where the Nashville SC plays on May 28th, and they will announce the Visionary of the Year,
Oh, I'm so excited. So it starts in March.
March 19th to May 28th.
Okay. So we got
Yes.
time. We got time. We
Oh,
can
yeah.
plan some things with the run club. I'll do a couple times. So we'll
I
help
love
you
it.
out on that end
I
as
love
much as
it.
we can.
At the gala, there will be a silent auction. So any sponsors I bring in help any donations for the silent
Mhm.
auction. Those items, whatever they get auctioned for, will count towards
Mhm.
my fundraising total.
I have an idea. I have good relationships with a ton of hotels on Miami Beach that I've hosted run clubs at.
Yep,
Maybe they'll want to do a
I
couple,
would,
like a weekend stay.
I would
I'm
love
gonna.
that. Yes,
My gears are going now.
yes,
My wheels are spinning.
yes. Mine are always spinning. So
Yeah. Okay.
there will be a winner, a visionary of the year, I guess you should say. The
Mhm.
Everyone is a candidate, and then whoever raises the most will be the visionary of the year.
Mhm.
And then it's actually nationwide. So there are different markets where they have Visionary of the Year candidates. So,
I love that. Are you gonna do anything with your baking and doing that? Kind of bring
I
that in a
haven't
little?
decided yet. I've thought about maybe a bake sale situation, just
Yeah.
which you can for a donation situation. There might be some music involved. There might be some wellness events involved. There might be some other things involved. So,
Wait, that's sick.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Anyways,
I have lots.
I love that we know what we're talking about, but we're like, okay, we're not gonna say that
I have
because
lots of ideas, lots of plans in the works, and if they all come to fruition, I think we're going to make a big difference, and that's the goal. So,
cool. Good for
yeah.
you. We're going to go back to mommyhood,
Okay.
motherhood. 'Cause I
Yes.
want to talk to you about because you have a boy and a girl. You understand the aspects of being a boy mom and a girl mom. What would you say has been the most, I don't want to say difficult because, there's always going to be a difficult time. But what has been something that has been challenging? And you can say as just a mother or with, boy, girl, and then something that you have, what your kids have taught you.
Ooh, okay. Challenging, I think that's tough. I think is making sure they both feel equally as supported at different times in the year. One of them is more active than the other.
Okay.
And so we're constantly going to watch one
Like
versus the other
sports.
because the other one doesn't have something going on. And so it can be hard it's hard to make sure that they're feeling supported in whatever they're doing when they're not doing stuff.
Mhm.
And, I think for my daughter, she's kind of found a few things that she really enjoys that make her happy, that she's excited about. My son is a lot like me in that he kind of tries everything. I'm
Ooh.
like a hack of all trades. I played
Mhm.
pretty much every sport. I tried it all. My parents were amazing in letting us figure out
Yeah.
what we wanted to do. And that's kind of
Mhm.
the phase that he's in. And so we get to go try a lot of new things, but there's a lot of downtime because he's not really focused on one thing quite yet.
Mhm.
And not that he has to be. But I think we're just kind of waiting for him to find that thing that just really makes him excited and lights him up. And so I think that's probably been the biggest challenge.
Mm-hmm. And then what have they taught you?
Everything. Everything. Yeah. They're always watching. They're always listening. That can be a scary thought, but it really goes to show you when you see them doing good things or you hear things from other people, or like my daughter in one of my Mother's Day cards was just like, I hope I can be as confident as you someday. Like, I know that they're watching and they're taking things from the way that I live my life. Mm-hmm. And so I think in being authentic and figuring out who I am over the last few years, especially now that they are 10 and 13, mm-hmm. when they were younger, they didn't know the difference, right? But they are seeing me, they're seeing me build a business. They're seeing me pursue my dreams. They're seeing me fail and continue to try. They have seen me not get Sports Illustrated for 5 years, and they are like, you got this, you can do this next year. I believe, like, they're seeing what it is to be resilient. And so I think that they're teaching me that being authentic pays off. I'm seeing it in them from my actions. I'm seeing them learn how to be authentic themselves, because it's hard. It's hard when you're that young to not want to do just what your friends are doing or to go with the flow. You know, I want to teach them to be independent. And I think we just have this happy little ebb and flow of, we teach each other things, you know, sometimes working with them when they're having difficult things and I'm explaining to them how to make it better. It's a good reminder to me, because sometimes I need that lesson for myself. Tuck that one away for later when you're having a tough day, you know?
Beautifully said, though. I have like no notes. I was just literally, did you see me like staring into your eyes? I was just listening and taking it all in. I love that. Are they allowed to be on social media?
No.
Good girl.
No.
Keep it that way.
No.
Longer the better.
Phone when she turned 13 in September, and it's on lockdown. Like, it's basically texting only.
It's a scary world out there.
It is. So we definitely try to protect as much as we can.
To close out the episode, I'm sure you've already thought about this because you are a forward thinker, and I know that you're all about manifesting, writing your goals down, mood boards. You know, we're in December 1st. Wait, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, happy December 1st. Filming the pod on the 1st.
Yes.
The last month of the year, baby. What are your goals for 2026? Do you have anything planned out yet, or do you have your word ready? Because I know we've done word.
I don't have my word ready yet. I'm going to start, now that it's December, I'll start kind of thinking about it. But I also, there's still a month left, and I think there's still so much left that can be accomplished in what's left of the year. So I don't want to write December off yet. But I mean, I want to continue to grow. I think that the possibility for growth is endless. Mm-hmm. I am really looking forward to making a big impact with Blood Cancer United next year. You know, there's a lot of things on the list that have been on my list.
Did you ever sign up for a race with me?
Girl.
We'll do a girls trip instead.
Like, we got to start small. Like, I need to.
We could do a 10K at 6 miles. That's not bad.
I've done one 10K. Funny story. I was seeing a guy when I lived in LA. And he's like, oh, let's do a 10K. And I'm like, cool, let's do a 10K.
Yeah, got it.
No training, just did a 10K.
I love that for you.
So I haven't done one since, but.
Well, no, we don't have to do a race.
Start small, maybe, but.
No, we'll just do a girls trip instead.
I haven't thought about 2026 yet in terms of goals that I'm ready to share, but I feel like there will be some repeat offenders on my list, as well as some new things.
I like that. I appreciate the fact of the whole not sharing in the sense, and it's not because you don't want to, but I like to keep some of my stuff internally, not because I'm trying to hide things from people. It almost is sacred. You like it so much and you want it so much, or whatever it is. And sometimes I feel like when I talk about something, it becomes more real, but also a different type of pressure, if that makes sense. That is a little bit more beautiful. So I like that. Do you do the mood board or?
No, I actually do it on my phone.
I do it on Canva.
The screen?
What?
It's on my home screen.
Yeah.
Every time I look at it, every time I look at my phone, it's there.
So when you mood board, you made it on your phone then, right? And I
made it in Canva and saved it like as a picture as my wallpaper.
Yeah, that's what I do. I love to make it in Canva, and then I'll print it out and I'll pin it in my closet. I don't know. I guess I'll look at it there.
I do think this year I want to have a little mood board party.
I like the mood board party. That's a good idea. I can't believe that there's books for, and I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, by looking at a book, even though there's different sections, I want to say this right. It's almost as if you're picking out what somebody's already done for you, if that makes sense. And I understand that there's different sections, but I like the idea of finding it yourself.
So I think that the way that you could do that would be to make a list first.
Okay.
Make a list of what you want to manifest what your goals
And then
are,
go to Pinterest.
and then go find, just like, like if you're making it in Canva, you have to think about what you want before you go search for an image to add to your board, right?
That should be a metaphor for life.
Come here for all of your motivation.
Keep going.
I don't know, I lost track,
Yeah, no, that you wrote it down and then you go look for it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're making it on your phone, you're not just gonna I would assume you wouldn't just Google mood board ideas. You're gonna think, okay, what is something that I want to do, and then you're gonna go search for pictures that relate to that thing. So I think if you're gonna be cutting it out old school, make your list first before you get your magazines or get your book or whatever. Yeah. And then you're looking for the things that are on your list as opposed to being like, oh, that's a good idea. Or, you're not really thinking about it. You're just
But I mean, great for capitalism. Good for you for making that and making money off of it. I agree with you 100%. Is there anything that you want to say, end the note on? It's all you, babe.
Well, I'm thankful to be here. Thanks for having me. It's my first podcast. Love that it was with you.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you. And I love seeing you do the things you set your mind to. You said you were going to do this, and look at you go. You're on week 23 or 4 maybe. So I'm proud of you, and you inspire me, and I'm thankful to have you in my life. So I appreciate you.
Oh my, stop. I'm going to cry. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And I mean, likewise. And I'm so thankful that connected on something that brings women together, which is even cooler, that we were able to connect through, Sports Illustrated and lift each other up and get to know each other. And I mean, our New York trip was so much fun. I hope we can do something similar soon. And I can't wait to help you win in the new year.
Let's go, girl.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And that's that.